Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you clicked on this video. This video will be all about Airbnbs versus hotels. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer out there right now. I do not have a preference. I choose both depending on my situation, depending on what's best for me at the time of my travel. And I honestly see the benefits of both and the downsides of both. So this video is just to shed light on each of these, and I would love to know, what do you think about Airbnbs versus hotels? Do you prefer staying at one over the other? Let me know in the comment section below. Here we go. So firstly, not to start this video off negatively, but it leads right into my first comment, and I'm gonna show you this TikTok video that I found about an Airbnb experience, and it's negative. So here we go.
So we waited to get into an Airbnb in New York just for the Airbnb to look like this.
Yes,
look at the sink. Look at the open bottles. Look at the dirty towel.
I can do everything through the phone. I won't make up
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere. This is disgusting. Open bottles, random towel. Like this is disgusting.
So as you guys can see, that was disgusting. Like, who would want to step into an Airbnb, especially after a long flight or a long journey, a long travel? Like, who would want to step into that? So that goes into my first thing about Airbnbs, is that cleanliness is up to the discretion of the host. It's not somewhere that has room service like hotels do, which I absolutely appreciate. So the host decides when it's clean, the host decides how it's clean, the host decides who cleans it. It's all at their own standard. So that's one negative side of Airbnbs versus hotels. So 1 point for hotels. The next is that I feel like hotels may be a bit more secure because you do have that front desk person. Sometimes you have a security guard. A lot of times you have a security guard, and those are just like barriers before, you know, you get up to your room. Now, with Airbnbs, this is not the case. It's usually someone's home, someone's apartment. Yeah, you may find an apartment in a building that has security, which would be amazing. But if you don't really feel safe with that, then I would suggest a hotel, just because they have that like extra layer of security. So that's 2 points for hotels. I know this kind of seems skewed to hotels. It's really not, because I like both. But another positive point for hotels is that you can usually book using your credit card rewards points, or sometimes hotels have site-wide sales that may help your price be lower. I've never actually seen this with Airbnbs. I know that I have messaged, because if you know me, I'm gonna ask for a discount. I have messaged a host before asking for a lower price, and they told me that it wasn't up to them. So I'm actually not sure how it works on the back end, but I've never seen a sale on Airbnb. So 3 for hotels. Well, I promise this is not skewed towards hotels. Another positive for hotels is that if you're a solo traveler, it gives you a better chance at meeting other people. If you're staying at a hotel, typically Airbnbs only have you there. That may not always be the case, but you do have a better opportunity at speaking with other travelers and meeting other people if you stay at a hotel. Also, hotels are typically clustered in like a city center. You may find some on the outskirts of a city, but most likely they're, you know, within a city. So that also presents the opportunity to meet more people once you step outside. Airbnbs are typically more residential. They're in more residential areas, so the opportunity to meet other people on your travels is a lot less likely with an Airbnb. So just keep that in mind if you are a solo traveler. So a positive for Airbnb is that they typically come with kitchens. Now, if you're traveling with a family, or if you just like to cook, if you prefer to save money while traveling by cooking, whatever your reason is, Airbnbs tend to have a kitchen. So that is 1 for Airbnb. But on the flip side, hotels, although they don't have kitchens, they do have room service, which can be pricey, but it actually comes in so handy sometimes. Also, hotels sometimes have attached restaurants, which can also be super handy, as well as an attached bar. So I guess that's a point for Airbnb and a point for a hotel. Also, another point for hotels is that sometimes they have free breakfast that's included with your stay, so that can make things a little bit more reasonable for you, as well as a little bit more convenient. You don't have to go and seek breakfast. You don't have to go and cook breakfast. That's if the breakfast is actually good. I stayed at the Eurostars in Germany, and that's the last hotel breakfast experience that I've had, and it was pretty good. Now, a positive for Airbnb is that they do offer a ton more space than hotels. If you are like me and you're very particular about your bathroom space, an Airbnb would be perfect for you, because if you're traveling with multiple people, you don't have to share a bathroom. Typically, Airbnbs, you can choose in the filter when you're searching 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms. So that's actually a very useful feature that I always use. Also, if you're traveling with a family or just a bunch of friends, you have more space for everyone to hang out in, for everyone to feel comfortable in, whereas a hotel, you're usually in a cramped room. Even if you get a suite, it's still not as large as your typical Airbnb would be, unless you're like renting a studio Airbnb, which I can't help you there. Also, another positive for Airbnb is that you don't have to deal with other people. I know during times like this, I'm not even gonna say the C word because I don't want YouTube to flag this. In times like this, it may be helpful to be more isolated, and that's a feature that Airbnb typically offers people. Whereas with a hotel, you're always coming into contact with someone else. You might interact with other people, whereas an Airbnb, there's no one to check you in. You know, it's more secluded. So that might be a positive for times like now. Another positive for Airbnb is that they are so versatile. You can rent a home, an apartment, a tree house, a tent. Like, the possibilities are endless when it comes to Airbnbs and what you can rent. Hotels are pretty standard. You get your room, you get your suite, you get your studio, and that's about it. Another positive for Airbnb is that hotels typically cost more than Airbnbs for a lot less as far as space goes. So keep that in mind as well. And my last Airbnb versus hotel comment is that you'll typically find better internet speeds at an Airbnb because you're not competing with all the other residents of a hotel for that internet. You'll find faster internet. I've never stayed at an Airbnb where I had to actually pay for Wi-Fi, but I have stayed at a hotel where I had to shell out an extra like $10 a day for Wi-Fi, so that's something to keep in mind. Now, let me know in the comment section below what you prefer. Do you prefer hotels or do you prefer Airbnbs? Like I said, for myself, I don't have a preference. It just all depends on what my travels are gonna be, who I'm traveling with, when I'm traveling, where I'm traveling to. So many factors. But thank you so much for tuning into another video. I appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like my content. I have a whole bunch more. I left a couple of videos you might be interested in the description box below. And please, please, please like this video if you found it helpful. If you have any comments, please be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I love having conversations with you guys. And I really do want to know, what do you prefer, you know, Airbnbs or hotels? Please, everyone, be sure if you're traveling to be safe and enjoy as much as you can. Thank you so much. Bye.